Hi, guys. Welcome to At the Nurses Station, a podcast for nurses about everything but the patients. Got Kelly and Sam here. Sam, how are you? What's new?
I'm doing well, and I don't know that anything's new. It's beautiful outside. My oldest and I went for a run today, which is why I look stunning next to you with your blow-dried hair and all your makeup. You look so good.
Thank you. I have the touch-up filter on the computer. So, how is the running going? Because I know that you've been forcing him to run with you, and he's throwing fits.
It was good. We made it. It was better. This is like week 2. And so we made it the first 2 miles, just minor huffing and puffing. And then we walk for a little while, and then we had 1.5 miles to go. And I don't know what happened. He's like, just don't talk to me. I just don't like it when Dad tells me to suck it up because I can't suck it up. And, which I didn't say any of those words. I'm not really sure what happened.
So you're going 4 miles?
Today we did 3.5.
Wow.
So, but with a little walk.
He's 12?
He's 11.
11? Well,
yeah.
That's awesome. I don't think I could go out and just run 3.5 miles.
He can run farther and faster than I can, just physically. He just chooses not to. He'll be fine, but he did a good job. I was proud of him because he likes to run hills. So we go on a hilly route, and then he gets tired. And I'm like, well, maybe if we didn't do this, it would be easier.
Does he have earbuds in or anything?
He does, but he doesn't like to listen to music. He said he likes it just because it muffles the noise of his feet. His feet are loud. He's a little stompy, but I like the music. So we're figuring it out. It's okay.
I love it.
It'll be fine. How about you? Have you been outside?
No, I slept in this morning because I have to work when we're done with this. That's why I'm ready to go in my scrubs at the nurses station. I have to leave a little bit early because one of our coworkers, her house got broken into. And she, poor thing. Okay, so she is this sweet little Gen Zer who lives on ground floor apartment, and she came home from work, and there was some psycho crazy girl actually. This woman had made dinner, had dishes in her bed, and when she got arrested, she was wearing her clothes. And she texted me that night and was like, oh, this is how my night went. Anyways, so I got her a little gift, and I'm stopping by there before work.
Oh, you're stopping by her house.
Yeah.
I see. I thought you were having to go be at work early.
No, I'm just leaving early so I can stop by before work.
Oh, well, that's really nice of you.
Yeah, well, you don't know what I bought her, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll just
knowing me, you can just take that as you will.
Yeah.
A little fun thing.
Which is a good segue into what we kind of wanted to chit chat about when last time we complained a bit.
Yeah.
About professionalism and working together and extracurriculars. But this is a good example of, I don't know, the framework that extends outside of just the support we get at work.
Yeah. How we form those work relationships and the different dynamics of them. Because I feel work relationships are very different than our outside relationships. And I feel a lot of people don't understand that about nurses. We are besties at work, but we're not necessarily besties outside of work.
But yes. Okay. So I agree with that. I actually want to ask you a question about your previous statement. So when you say our relationships at work versus not at work, do you mean physically when we are at work that's different, or the relationships that we have with the people that we work with look different even outside of the hospital?
Yeah, I think both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. I think the bonds that we form, which we've talked about, trauma bonding and stuff, I think that's into it. But yeah, I just feel the relationships that nurses build while at work, like that can bleed into outside of work, but I don't feel like it's the same, at least for me, it's not the same as like my best friend that is like my best friend for life, right? We have a very different relationship than like you and I have. Like we're very good friends, but it's not like that same dynamic.
So I will say though that like, so do you know, like when you get older, you find out that there are like those couple friends that you can travel with and that you can't travel with.
Yeah.
And like vacation friends and stuff. But when I think about that, I'm like, oh, I actually don't think that there's anything that I couldn't do with the people that I work with. Like if I had,
probably we've gone through like the shit together.
Yeah. And I mean, even the ones that maybe I find particularly irritating or like don't care to have a relationship, I'm like, yeah, I mean, if we had to go run a Taco Bell together, we could do it.
Yeah.
Like that would be, if we just got like dropped into some, what was that? What did you used to do? Like The Amazing Race or something?
Yeah. Oh God, we would kill it. Except for I can't run. But
yeah, no running for you.
But I can run. I just choose not to. I feel like it's slow torture. I don't understand the running thing.
Oh, it feels so good.
Oh no. It hurts every second of my heart.
Okay, well, you and my eldest are on the same page about it.
I'll play volleyball. I'll play sports. I'm just the running thing. I just, no, thank you.
Oh, well, fair enough.
I do have a question. Have you ever gone on a trip with coworkers, like an overnight or weekend?
Yes. I was trying to think. Yeah, I got sent to the East Coast at a previous facility to train to build their EMR.
Oh, so it was still a work thing. It wasn't like you guys planned like a weekend getaway. Okay.
No, I've never been on like a for fun. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm the same way. As I've gone like to conferences and stuff. Had a ton of fun. I was supposed to go on a ski trip this last January with our coworkers, but then I got COVID. But that literally would have been my first like overnight outing.
So is this a generational thing? Because the ones that I know do it are all much younger than us.
Yeah.
Or was it like a life situation thing?
I don't know. So right now, I don't know if you've heard this, but they are planning a trip to Disneyland. And I love your face right now. I was asked the last time I was at work, it was like, would you want to go to Disneyland with us? I'm like, I've never taken my children to Disneyland. Like, okay, number one, Disneyland is so expensive.
Yeah, true.
Number two, there's no way I could tell my family I'm going to Disneyland with a bunch of adult women and I'm not taking you. So, and number three, if I was going to go somewhere, like, I don't know, I'm 42, like, I don't want to go to Disneyland. Like,
you're not a Disney adult?
I think it's fine. Like, I think it'd be fun. But no, I'd rather sit on a beach and, not stand in lines and pay $100 for lunch. But they're all really excited about it.
Okay, so I have a lot of opinions about this topic. So I grew up close-ish to Disneyland, right? Like I was not in the LA basin, but we grew up like 2.5 hours away. And then spent a fair bit of time at Disneyland in my like high school days. So I actually love Disneyland, and not just for like the rides, just like the ambiance of like being there, the smell of that. Is it bromide or something? The water smells good.
Like chlorine? Like you like that?
No, it's not. Did I say chlorine? No, I said bromide. It has a specific smell.
Did I say chlorine?
No.
Okay, sorry. I don't have my chemical smells.
Well, I'm sorry. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. It's a thing. Okay. And like a mint julep, and to get like a Mickey macaroon, and to just like walk around. And so it's an experience. So I get that from like the adult side. Yeah, your face now. Now, The argument, so I have two best friends and we used to go to Disneyland together growing up. And they tell me the same thing that you said, which is I don't go to Disneyland without my kids because they have kids that are like my kids' age. Listen, you know what? That actually doesn't bother me one iota. If I had the opportunity to go to
But
Disneyland,
you've taken your kids to Disneyland.
oh yeah. When
Yeah.
we used to live
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Like, I've never taken my kids.
Okay, so here's there's
But-
nothing the other thing is that I actually like am not interested in giving a whole lot of money to Disney or taking my children there. So it doesn't like bother me so much that I wouldn't take them.
Yeah.
So that part, but
you could say like Universal Studios or Legoland, or you could say anything.
Yeah, and we did. I took my eldest.
I feel like on like a broader scale of like going on that level of a trip with coworkers.
No, and see, here's the other thing is like you can't do a theme park with a big group of people. It's not fun.
No.
So I'm sure I can guess who these people are, and I know that they're big Disney fans, so I think that that's fine for them. But I would, I don't think it's like the best use of that time because I mean, what else? There's like the wine tasting in Mexico, and I don't know what would be your ideal trip with your coworkers. I guess.
I don't know. I guess I have a hard time spending money on that kind of trip and like not having my husband there. I know your face, right? I know we're very different, but my husband and I love to travel, and we're planning a trip to Mexico right now. And I've gone on like girls' weekends to like Leavenworth and, small place, Vegas, things like that. But like going on a really big,
fun.
Yeah. But going on a really big trip and spending that kind of money without taking, having my husband there is where I get into the like internal dilemma. And I know a lot of women aren't like that. Like, and it's not that he wouldn't allow me. He lets me do whatever I want. But he's my favorite person in the world to travel with. So yeah, maybe Vegas. I think Vegas would be fun.
I can see the money aspect of it. Like it's not really fair to spend such a huge chunk.
Yeah.
I like to travel with my husband, but usually we go somewhere together and then do some things together and then do some things that we want to do, like hill golf or play frisbee golf or whatever you call it. And I will go to the spa and then we'll have dinner together. And that's perfect. Yeah, I am curious. Okay. So there's like big trips and then there's like little things like volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, we're planning that this summer. So me and the coworker that got our house broken into, we both played a lot of volleyball in high school. And I think she may have played in college. I was supposed to play in college, blew my knee out, all that doesn't matter. But there's a park by our house that has like 10 sand volleyball courts. And so we were thinking it would just be fun to have like drop-in volleyball sessions. And I was really surprised because I like posted it at work and we had 20 people like sign up and want to be a part of it. So those kind of things I think are really fun. I think they can be team building. I think it's important to like get to know your coworkers outside of work. Or like, I always am like, yes, I'll be there. I'm going to go, like, sign me up. And then like the day of, I'm like, I don't really want to go.
Well, so I guess that's what I'm sort of curious about is like, does it really make our working relationship better to spend more time together? Or is that kind of the magic of working in the hospital is that we are all very close and knowledgeable about each other because of what we do, but then we like peace out and we don't see each other until we come back to work.
Yeah, I can see that too. And I think that maybe that's why when you're at work and you're talking about getting together and doing all these things, it's like, yeah, we're, working together and having fun. And then on your day off, it's like, do I really want to see those people again? And it's not like that sounds horrible. Like that's not what I mean. Like there's nothing wrong with like hanging out with people outside work, but like I feel like nurses are very compartmentalized. At least I am. Like I have like, there's work Kelly and then there's home Kelly.
Yeah.
When I try and blend those, it almost feels overwhelming.
Yeah. No. And that's kind of because it's like, I have to be, not have to be, but I am a certain way with my coworkers. And then, but then you add like my husband into the mix or like my children into the mix. And it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Manage those situations differently. Although I think that there are some people that we work with that are like the same all of the time. And it's very interesting to see them in their families. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just like this all the time. Which I feel like they tend to be the chiller people for sure. But I don't know that it makes us, anyway, I don't know that it makes our relationships actually better. I wonder, I can think of a couple of instances where it causes more drama on the unit. And like, that is actually the opposite of what we want to have happen.
Right. Well, and I know that there's been those times where people are allowed to hang out with whoever they want to hang out with outside of work.
Right.
And it's becomes almost like middle school or even elementary school where it's like, but I wasn't invited. Oh my gosh, who cares? I actually have a really funny story about this. So we have another coworker. There's like 5 of them that are pregnant right now. I don't know why that always happens. Babies come in waves and units. They're something in the water. But one of our coworkers is pregnant and she's like about to deliver. And I was like, oh my gosh, you haven't had a work baby shower. And she was like, oh no, I had 2 baby showers. I'm like, but you have to have one for work. Like, we have to get you stuff, And she's like, oh no, really, it's fine. Like I had like close friends and close family. And I had some out of town and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, we're going to like plan something. And she's like, okay. Me being like dumb, not catching up on this. Like, I'm telling people about this. I'm like, we have to plan something for her. And one of the nurses is like, Kelly, she had a work shower. And I was like, oh, I just wasn't invited. Got it. And I am not offended at all. Like, that does not bother me, like, in the least. So if you're listening to this, please don't think I was. Okay. But I just thought it was hilarious that it took me that long to realize she was trying to like let me down. And I'm just like, oh, okay, got it. Wasn't invited. Cool. Moving on. But that's hard. Like, how do you navigate that? Like,
Well, I don't know. I figured that out not in the same way that you did. One of the people that we work with was like, oh yeah, I just got back from so-and-so shower. And I was like, what do you mean so-and-so shower? I just want to get invited so I can give a nice present. Like,
well, and I will say some advice to those nurses out there that are younger. You always invite the older nurses because they're the ones that are going to buy you the really nice shit. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, I have money and I want to spend it on babies. Like, I don't get to buy baby stuff anymore. So whether you like me or not, you really should invite me because I will blow your mind. But
well, I just feel like that's just the social etiquette. Well, okay, so that's not exactly true. If you have no relationship with the person and it's very like there are some employees that we have and like our shifts don't ever cross, and so I really don't know them.
But we wouldn't go to their shower anyways.
Okay, so I'm saying there's like a gradient here.
Okay.
Because the other nurse that's pregnant literally invited every single person on our payroll.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not necessarily advocating for that, but it was like, well, we work the same shift. Like you could have just given me an invite so I could buy you something and not go. Like that would have been okay. Or like, I think there's a line in Emma where she's like throwing a fit about not being invited to a party. And one of the characters is like, well, you weren't going to go anyway. And she's like, yes, but now I don't get to decline. I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Give me the opportunity to say no and just send you a nice gift.
Yeah, that's all that I want.
Yeah.
But so to your point of having like a work shower or a not work shower, having been through what we've each had 3 babies while working. I like having them separated. That's, yeah. If you're going to do stuff with work people outside of work, I think they either like truly need to be like a very, very close friend that maybe you had before you started working together, or maybe you just really, really click or something, or you do things outside of work with work people, and then you do things outside of work with your non-work people. But mixing them is always, it just stresses me out.
Yeah, it's weird. Now I did invite like a couple people to a Halloween party that I had, but they were very specific people that I knew would appreciate it and be a part of that vibe. Because it is like dressing up crazy, drinking too much, and playing bunco and yelling. Like, I'm not going to invite everyone to that.
I can do 2 of the 3 of those things.
Yes, I know you can.
Yeah. Okay. I can yell and play bunco. Those 2 things I can do. But yeah, I
don't want to be like watching my behavior in certain situations. I don't know. Like,
okay. So for me, I don't think it's that. I think it's that, like, if you invite maybe one work person, that might be okay. But it's the mixing. Like, when we like host parties and stuff, or like New Year's or something, it's always people that we're not the only person that they know in the room.
Yes.
And that's what I always find is so hard, is that no matter what, all of your coworkers stick together because they know each other. Yeah. And it's like them and then everyone else at your get together. And it's just.
And then you feel torn, like trying to like play matchmaker with people. Like, not like a romantic way, but like, oh, this person, come meet this person. And then they don't mingle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It's always a hard thing. Okay. So big trips, little fun outings. Now, from a management perspective, is there any like good way to do like a summer unit party or a Christmas party or any of that in our environment?
Oh, I don't think management should ever be involved in outings.
Why? I want them to fund it.
Oh, well then, yeah. I mean, give us the money, but like let UBC do it.
Okay. Well, still UBC.
Okay.
Because someone's always working. I guess that's, so how do you do that?
Yeah. And you know that if we're throwing like something, we look at who's working and cherry pick.
I know.
That's just like, I mean, that's just the sad reality. At least if it's like, if I'm throwing it, like okay, here's a good example. My parents live on a lake close by. Mm-hmm. They have a boat and jet skis and all those things, right? I would love to have like a unit outing out there, but it's also not my home. So asking my mom and dad to be like, are you okay if 40 people show up with who knows like how many children and all of that? That's too much, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I have invited girls out. I don't think you could come, right? What happened? You were invited.
I was working
summers ago. Mm-hmm. Anyways, you do have to kind of like keep it on the DL. Like you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And then it eventually gets out anyways, and somebody's feelings are hurt. But to your point about like summer, winter outings, like I think you have to have 2. Like you have to do it like on a weekend, like people's weekends off.
I would say I'm happy to just get free food. I know I sound like a fat second grader or something, but like I don't actually care.
You're bringing all the leftovers to work?
Yes, that's exactly what I want. I want like the leftover, like, I mean, leftover sounds like horrible, like I have a problem, but yeah, like if it's going to be some like catered thing, like bring the extra like little burritos and salsa and like whatever. And
that is always exciting.
Yeah.
We have one doctor we work with, and she hosts a lot of physician parties. Mm-hmm. And they have that like catered like well, and she always brings us all the leftovers, and that's an exciting day.
And she comes to our break room first because it's technically the adult side too.
Yeah.
So that is always nice. No, I feel like it's a hard spot for like UBC or management because it is technically supposed to be spread over everyone. So I don't envy that. And I actually like a good Christmas party, but I don't know. I think it's just hard.
This is hard though, because everybody has so many parties, in their lives between November, or at least I do, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that I think for me personally, a work party gets kind of put towards the bottom of priorities.
Yeah, that's true. I actually like what you have done in the past. I think is maybe a better, like, instead of going outside of the hospital on like essentially having to invest more time in it, but how you've done the Secret Santa and March Madness and fantasy football, I think it's a nice way to do something that's not work related with your coworkers that gives you a little more depth, but it's voluntary and it doesn't really take up like an extra like Wednesday or your Saturday or whatever to do that. So.
No, I do really like doing the March Madness and the fantasy football. I think people get excited about it now because we've been doing it for like several years. Your husband even did it for you, right?
Listen. My name was on that team.
Yes, I know.
And I didn't understand the rules anyway, and I was down a quarterback the whole season. I still came in second, so shush.
Yes, thanks to Philip.
I mean, aren't we? What's mine is his and his is mine, and of flesh and something.
My husband did our fantasy football too, but he had his own team.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't. Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder. I don't. In it to win it, Kelly.
Did you really come in second?
Yeah, because
Last year?
No, I didn't play last year. It was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
The Fumbalinas, thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I was Tina Boots, and now that nickname has kind of gone down.
You can't use that one anymore. Yeah.
We had 2 coworkers. One called me Tina, and one called me Boots. And so for a long time, I was Tina Boots, and now neither of them work with us, and that makes me very sad.
Yeah. That is a good example of doing things like how you might do things outside of the hospital, but once you don't have the hospital relationship,
No, that's a really good point. So I worked long stretches in different places. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I've learned that in most people, there are friends for a season, and then it's okay when that season changes to not try and hold on to that relationship.
Yeah.
And I feel like work friends are kind of in that, at least for me, where I have great friends like while I'm working in this unit, but then they just kind of, peter out as you move into another unit. And I don't know if that's our compartmentalization of like work and home, that like, unless that relationship really transitioned into like an outside of work relationship, when you no longer work together, no matter how much you loved each other in that moment, that relationship is just going to naturally kind of fall away. And I think it's okay.
Oh, I totally think it's okay. I mean, you might be more moderate in that, because I actually think that you're very good at like following up on personal things and like checking in on people, even when they're not like at the hospital anymore or aren't for a while. I know when like I left to take care of my mom, you like text me, not all of the time, but we're just like checking in. And I know that you do that for some other employees too. And I can think of 2 women that we work with specifically that are extremely good at that. And like I get updates on old coworkers through them like all the time. Like, oh, well, how's so-and-so doing? How's so like tell them I said hi. I feel like I am particularly like terrible at it. And it's not just with work. It's with like when we moved up here, there's like there's 2 women that I like.
Excuse you.
that I keep up with like every day from high school. But then otherwise, I just have like old friends that we probably talk twice a year, 3 times a year. And then otherwise, all of the nurses that I was really close with and had really great relationships with, they just, like you're saying, they just kind of, and it's not a bad thing. It's not like, oh, you don't like each other anymore. It's just, and if you met to do something, you'd probably fall right back into like a very easily familiar kind of interaction. But yeah, it just kind of,
Yeah. And I think
link.
some people like really want to like hold on to those relationships, and maybe they get upset when they kind of peter out. But I think that that's just like a natural thing. Like we all only have enough energy for so many relationships in our life. And especially like if you move on career wise, it's almost like, okay, but now all my energy is going towards those people that I am working with all the time.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that I don't care about that past relationship. It's just that's not like our reality right now. And that can be sad, but it's okay. Like that's just life.
Yeah. I have a friend that says, maybe her mom used to say this, friends for a season, friends for a reason, friends for a season, friends for life. Okay. And I was like, oh, well, that's a good little thing to remember. Okay. Yeah, I think, and then there's always the Grey's Anatomy extracurriculars that everybody likes to think are happening all of the time in hospitals.
Have you ever experienced, I know that.
What?
Not you.
Oh my word.
Have you ever like witnessed?
Yes.
Stuff like that happening?
Oh, I have been party to,
a party too, not the party.
Like have been, I do very distinctly remember having one conversation, and I'll make it very like as broad as I can, but saying, no, this is a bad idea. And the other individual saying, but I knew that that's what I wanted the first time I saw this other person. Like, yes, still bad idea, horrible idea. You shouldn't do it. And this other person was like, this is why I like to talk to you about things, Sam, because you just give me your opinion. Right. But it's still a bad idea.
Like, yeah, I worked with a doctor one time, and this was a long time ago, but yeah, he was on his like third marriage. Every single one of them had been a nurse. Like there were rumors of nurses in the doctor's room overnight, all these things. And it was just so icky. Like it is not Grey's Anatomy. It is not like exciting.
Oh, wait, that's not true. 3, because then there was the paramedic. So yeah, it's been all nurses and techs, and then nurses and paramedics. So
I'm sorry. I find it icky. Like no, we had two coworkers that did end up together. But they were like keeping that on the down low. Like they were definitely not sneaking around at work.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But they weren't married to anyone else. All 3 of the instances that I'm talking about, these people were married to other people. Right. Effectively.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, so stressful.
I don't think you could like live through an affair. Like you would just have a heart attack.
Oh my gosh. I barely lived through a marriage. I don't know. Like why, who would, what is the point?
Take on another man? No.
I
put a lot of time into this one, and he is doing pretty good.
What man needs another woman? We're psycho. Like there's no, I can't imagine that Philip's like, yeah, I need more. I need more of this crazy in my life. No. Absolutely. But I worked in a small, the hospital wasn't that small, and the town was like medium sized, but it was one of those towns where like no one really left. Like we all grew up there or in the surrounding areas, and everybody knew everyone. I mean, you knew people for decades.
Yeah.
It was very hard to leave because of that. But on the same token, I think it just, it made everyone really familiar with everyone.
In more ways than one.
So risky. There's just like, oh my gosh. I mean, well, Philip has a saying, which is if you're going to cheat, cheat up, which not,
Well, that's nice that your husband has a cheating thing.
the number of sayings. I learned so much from him, but I feel like that's a reasonable standard, I guess. It's just hard to do in a small town. So
There just wasn't anybody higher than Philip.
There's not always an up, in a little place like that. But anyway, it doesn't really.
No, I don't understand
No.
this is like total tangent, but I don't understand the whole idea of having an affair when you're married, because who has the freaking time? Like, I mean, do you know how much energy that would take? Like, ugh. I
mean,
got shit to do. I barely have time to take care of my life.
Not that like we are trying to be mean to people that find themselves in that situation, because I'm sure it's that they don't feel great about it in the end, right? That's probably a lot of shame to carry and a lot of stuff to work out between whatever families they keep together or that break apart. It's very sad, right? It is very tragic.
Yeah, we're making light of it, but
I wouldn't want to judge, but also like having to come to work and like knowing why you can't find people, and then also like knowing their significant others is also like very stressful. Yeah. And not my favorite place to be. Sorry, my train is going by.
The train goes by.
Okay, so that's kind of just another side of like working in the ER, working together, mostly talking about doing things outside of the hospital, whether it's, I don't know, I'd be interested to hear from people whether they like it. Like, do you have a standard rule? Have you been in the hospital for a long time? Do you just like categorically refuse to do things with people outside of the hospital? Did you meet your best friend or your spouse at the hospital?
Yeah.
Are there certain things that you only do with people from the hospital? I don't know. I would be interested.
Well, and I think it is too, like we talked about in the beginning, like generationally, I think if you're like younger, like you're in your 20s, you're not married, you don't have kids. Like, I think you do find those besties at work.
That's true. Yeah.
And maybe for us old nurses, we're just like, I've got so much going on. I don't have time.
There's just no more that I can add to my life right now. That's probably fair. Okay. Did you want to do a couple? Let's see. Was there anything else that you wanted to say about that? Or you want to do a couple rapid fire?
Let's do some rapid fire.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I just didn't want like either or questions. So okay. I'll find some. Oh, that was
okay. I have one for you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
If you got to choose your own name, what would it be?
Well, I don't know that I've ever thought about this.
Yeah.
In my life.
Do you love your name?
I don't know. Do we get we don't really get to choose. I guess I love it now, 35 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't like my middle name mostly growing up, but I don't think it's as bad as I made it out to be now. Paige is my middle name.
I like Paige.
Yeah, I think like as an adult.
My 13-year-old is dating a Paige right now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Aw.
I haven't met her yet. Yeah, we're having teenage boy. Lots of talks.
Oh dear. Oh, yeah, no. Okay. I like my name, but I will answer your question. Not at all about what you asked. I am a firm believer that nicknames are not names. So like my name is Samantha. My nickname is Sam or Sammy, if you're like two people in this world. But I couldn't have been named Sam. Yeah. Like it had to be Samantha. So like,
I actually love that your name is Samantha because I use it in very specific situations.
Well, yeah, as most people do.
Samantha.
I mean, there's like one situation in my life that I have to do where I always go by Samantha, but pretty much everything else I go by Sam, which is fine. But I hate, not that I hate, I don't want like to make anyone feel bad about the maybe less than perfect name they gave their child. But you should like, they're not going to be kids forever. Like they need a grown-up name. So if you think, I don't know, what would it be?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. So
like, I think all of our boys have very like man names. Like they can grow into that as a man.
Yeah. And then you can call them whatever you want after that. Like, I don't know, like Elizabeth is a fine name, but you could call her like Lizzie or Eliza or E or whatever growing up, but don't name them that. Give them a proper grown-up name. Okay. Do you like the smell of gas?
Oh,
Gasoline.
I'm not one of those, like, I love it or hate it. I know some people love the smell of gas. It really doesn't bother me. It reminds me a little bit of childhood because my dad, we lived on 100 acres and we had these big woods, and he would cut down trees and like split wood. And so the smell of gas reminds me of that. So I guess I like it. I don't hate it.
I like it too. Grass, not so much, but gas, that's something I like.
When you said that, I was like, wait, did you say grass? Because that doesn't make sense at all. Okay.
Yes, like fresh cut grass. Like some people do.
You don't like that?
Not really. It smells too green.
Oh, you're so weird. Okay. What is the strangest thing in your fridge?
In my fridge?
Yeah.
Well,
what I would think is strange? Because, okay, Sam drinks raw milk. That is so gross.
That didn't even cross my mind as being.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
That's like the most normal thing that's probably in there. Well, there's egg salad, I guess. Is that strange? Not everyone likes that, I guess.
That's not strange.
Okay. There's milk, like regular milk, like how God made it. Yeah, like that kind.
Unpasteurized, straight from the teat.
Yeah.
Do you drink it warm?
Well,
because that's how God made it.
Right. I drink it warm because I drink it in my tea. But technically speaking, if you warm it up, then you're like kind of pasteurizing it, which like sort of negates a lot of the benefits. But my boys drink it cold. Okay. Yeah. There's fire cider, there's lard, there's tallow, there's like a number of like little like fermented veggies. Yeah. There's beet sauerkraut, regular sauerkraut. What else is in there?
I love it.
I don't know. Then like a bunch of leftovers.
Sure.
Stuff. Yeah. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay. Would you rather climb a mountain or jump from a plane?
Oh, climb a mountain for sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I used to think that I'd want to skydive. And then as I got older, I realized that I am really terrified of heights. And that sounds like the dumbest thing anyone would ever do. Like, why? Why just choose to, jump out of a plane?
But a mountain is really high up in the air.
I'm not going to, yeah, you can die from climbing a mountain. But we literally get skydiving patients in the ER like fairly regularly. I've heard 2 patches in the last year of a skydiving accident.
I don't know that is accident the right word. I mean, or they were just skydiving, and that's why they needed to come to the ER.
And then it didn't happen. It didn't work.
It did not work. What is that saying? Like, every dead body on Mount Everest was someone with a lot of ambition. Yes. So just calm down.
Yes. I do love that one. It's like, yeah, I mean, you didn't specify what mountain. Like, I can climb like a small mountain. There's that has a road to the top.
That has a road. By climb, I mean drive. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Fair enough.
If you could have a lifetime supply of something, what would it be?
Well, like to eat?
Anything. Like one thing in this whole world.
A lifetime supply.
It can't be money. That's cheating.
That's cheating?
Yeah.
I don't think there are rules on this game, Kelly.
Oh. Mine's cheese, if that helps you.
Cheese?
Yeah, it was the first thing I thought of. Just a lifetime supply of cheese.
Just like Kraft slices or something?
That is not cheese. If you have Kraft slices in your fridge,
I do not.
With raw, unpasteurized milk, like you have a problem.
Then I'm not staying logically sound. I don't know what I would want. I guess maybe raspberry iced tea.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Just anytime you want it.
Yeah. I think that would be good. I'm sure Philip has the answer to this. I'm sure he could tell you in a heartbeat, like what it is that I want. But since I'm not in charge of
Peach rings, sugar,
peach, well, yeah, but they hurt my teeth.
enamel. You could have a lifetime supply of enamel.
Well, don't we all have a lifetime supply of enamel? What?
No, that's why our teeth hurt, because your enamel's
Yeah, I think that has to do with what you eat, though. I think you're given. Okay, doesn't matter.
okay.
If you could master any musical instrument, what would it be?
Oh, piano.
Really?
Yeah, I do play the piano. I took lessons for like 3 years, and you know how that happens. You know, when you're an adult, that doesn't really mean anything. Yeah. But I actually love the piano. I love the sound of the piano. I love to sing, but I have a horrible voice. So if I could play the piano like really loud, and then like my singing would just somehow blend into the majesticness of it, I would be happy. I
feel like some people feel like the human voice is an instrument. Maybe that's the instrument you can master then.
Oh, yeah. If I could sing like Adele, I would that is actually one of my like biggest wishes. Like if I had 3 wishes, it would be that I had like an amazing singing voice, because I love to sing, but I just am horrible at it.
I'm with you on that. I'm not a good singer either. I do have a follow-up question. I was trying to convince my boys who were complaining about having to go to piano practice. Like, you know, why do we have to learn this? But I think that men that can play the piano are instantly more attractive.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is real thing.
All my boys, I make them take lessons too. My oldest is, he's moved on from the piano because he wanted to play guitar. And I'm like, well, that's cool too. So he's now playing the guitar. But
don't you have a drummer too?
No, I think Jack will be the drummer, but he's only 7. But I think he would be amazing at that. We have this thing called Rock Band where we live. And so they teach these kids instruments, and then they put them into a band, and then they actually perform like as a band, like at different places. So that's been pretty cool.
Oh, that is fun. The baby in our family is also the drummer too. He doesn't know it, but that'll be his.
Yeah. I'm glad that we've decided their fates for them. Isn't it funny? Like, I think the baby should always be the drummer.
I think the Hansons really did it best. And why break the mold? You know, there's an instrumental version of that song. They did it with a symphony, and it's so great.
Really? Oh,
yes.
You should send it to me.
I should. My family's tired of hearing it. Okay. So, I think in conclusion here, let us know, how do you spend time with your coworkers outside of the hospital, or what things do you do while you're at work, kind of like fantasy football or something that helps those relationships? Are you the kind of person that likes seeing your coworkers outside of work, or are you like, no, we do a horrible job and you see me at my worst and I don't want to see you ever in my real life? So we'd love to hear that. And we're on all of the socials at the Nurses Station. Kelly, do you have anything else to say about this?
I don't think so. I'm going to head off to work, and I will have stories for next time.
Yay. Okay. Well, until next time, we'll see you at the Nurses Station.
Bye. Hey guys, this is Kelly from At the Nurses Station. Sam and I would like to remind you that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are strictly our own and do not in any way reflect the position of our employers. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and in no way should be considered medical advice. As always, consult a qualified medical provider for questions regarding your health or medical conditions. We hope you have fun listening to us today, and we'll see you next time at the Nurses Station.